Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd finally sit down and do a video for you guys. I wanted to actually sit down and talk to you about everything Isla related. Obviously I'll do more videos in the future, but I thought I'd start with a bit more information around the mediation process that we went through to get Isla moved from a mainstream school to a special school. It was a particularly long process and it took quite a while, so I've made a couple of notes for me to go through. I was going to do it on IGTV or on my stories and then just save them as highlights, but I thought it would be better to actually sit down, film a video for you and share it on YouTube. So as a lot of you might know, my daughter Isla, who is 6 years old, was diagnosed with autism when she was around 2 years old. So we're still trying to get our heads around the whole process, what we have to do, what we can't do. And one of those things meant that we thought a special school would be best suited to her needs rather than a mainstream. Now you're probably thinking, why did you go for mainstream in the first place? I wanted Isla to be in an environment where she could socialise and interact with other children. Unfortunately, the school that I did pick, or she was accepted into, was our first choice, but the facilities and the resource within the school just means that her learning style isn't catered for. So what that means, she knows what she needs to do in terms of phonics, numeracy, that sort of thing, reading, but that means that her learning style isn't being catered for. And I feel like now is a prime time for her to move schools. She's in year 2, so I think moving schools to a special school would be perfect for her. She knows her numbers, she knows words, she knows how to spell long words, so moving to a special school would be perfect for her, and I feel like she'd thrive a bit more there. Yes, there isn't the social element, but she does know children from her class now that she can spend time with. She knows who they are, and she's a lot more social than she used to be, which is great. So I actually don't know how long this video is going to be, so I'm sorry if it's going to be long. Grab a cup of tea and sit down, and then we'll discuss everything to do with the mediation process. So when Isla was diagnosed with autism, which I'll talk to you guys a bit more about in another video, she got an EHCP, which is an educational healthcare plan, that the school could use basically to break down into tasks for her to learn things in class. That's basically it. She was coming up to her annual review last June anyway, and that meant that we sat down with the SENCO in the school and basically looked at all her tasks, her targets, and where she was. And then I decided it was probably time for us to look at special schools. And I spoke to a lady at the council. We are in Cambridgeshire, so I don't know if it's different in any other county, but in Cambridgeshire what we need to do is basically send off the educational health plan to the council. They send it back to me, I approve it, and I basically say, yes, I'm happy with these targets. And then there's another sheet attached to that EHCP that you have to fill in to basically say, I would like my child to go to a special school. At that point, we'd already looked at other schools and we were happy with our choice. So I completed the sheet, sent it back to the council, and what happens after that is that it goes to panel. So as I said, I don't know what the process is in any other county, but in Cambridgeshire, a panel is held every 2 weeks, I think it is, to discuss a child, their needs, what is in their educational health plan, and if the school that the parents have requested is suitable for that child. It's not always guaranteed, which is what we found out afterwards. What happened is that the panel basically decided that the school that we picked wasn't suitable for Isla. As you can imagine, I wasn't very happy about it. Because I'd gone to the school, I really liked it, I thought that she would thrive and grow there and learn a lot more. So I wasn't very happy. What happened after that was basically that you get given more information from the council to appeal the panel's decision. We did ours through SEN Mediation. Again, I'm not sure if they are across the country. I'll have a look, and if there is more information around that, I'll pop it in the description box below, but I'm not entirely sure. And I think the company is called Kids. So we had conversations with Kids about a mediation meeting that we could hold with the school, Isla's current school, a member of the panel who decided that the school that we chose wasn't suitable for her, Isla's speech and language therapist, and then a mediator or a member of the council who would help us get our points across, and she was lovely. So in terms of Kids, what happened is that I basically had to just send them an email explaining the situation, what I wanted the outcome of the meeting to be, and what I wanted for Isla basically. And that was obviously for her to go to a school where she could grow and learn things and actually be able to progress, because that wasn't happening at her current school. Obviously these meetings are few and far between. They have a lot of them, which means that you sort of have to wait a very long time to actually get a meeting in the diary, when everyone is available as well. So what that meant is that we got the decision in August. We got the decision in August just after we came back from Disneyland. Actually, we were in Disneyland when we got the decision. So once we came back, we went through this process of appealing, trying to get more information about how we could appeal, what would happen. We put the appeal in to the mediation company, Kids, and then we waited. And it wasn't until November that we were told that we would get a meeting for January, and I'm pretty sure it was the 10th of January. So we were waiting a very long time for this meeting, which, as you can imagine, is very frustrating. But the whole process, especially when it comes to an autism diagnosis or anything to do with an educational health plan, it's a very long process, and I will explain a lot more in detail when I speak to you guys about Isla's diagnosis and how long it took us to get that diagnosis. But in terms of this, it took a long time as well, and lucky for us, they actually got a meeting cancelled. Lucky for us, unfortunate for the people who got the meeting cancelled, but we got a meeting in December instead, which was great. So the people who were present at the meeting was myself, Adam, my mum, Isla's speech and language therapist, Isla's teachers, a mediator, a member of the panel, as I said, who made the decision around the school that we chose for Isla, and then a lady from the council as well who helped us to get our points across, and she knew the process really, really well. She knew it inside out, back to front, up and down. You know, she knew everything about it, and she knew exactly what to say. She was very familiar with the lady from the panel, so it was really, really beneficial for us to have her there. The whole process of the mediation means that she needs to be there for us to get our points across. Obviously we don't know too much about this process, so it was really, really helpful to have her there. Unfortunately, I can't actually talk to you about much of what was discussed in the meeting because it is confidential. It is about a minor, so I can't talk to you guys much about that, but hopefully that the start of this video has given you a bit more information about how we got to that point. But it was left at a point where we decided that we were going to look at another school that might be better suited to Isla. What had initially happened was that the panel had decided that the school that we picked wasn't best for Isla because it was still national curriculum. That is the long and the short of it. We went back and forth about this because it's such a long time until Isla actually has to sit down and do an exam. So, and she's 6, so we don't know what is going to happen in the period between now up until she needs to sit down for an exam. So that's completely, you know, we're in the dark with that. So what we decided was that we were going to go and look at another school for children with slightly more severe autism, but their learning style was perfect for Isla. That Adam and I decided that we were going to go look at the school. We did, and we really, really liked it. It's a great school and it's nearby, so we've decided that we are going to go for that school. After that, we decided that we needed to let the lady at the panel know. So we emailed them alongside the lady who was there on behalf of us. And that meant that decision didn't need to go through panel because they had already decided that the other school wasn't for Isla. So we said we want Isla to go to this school, and they accepted that, which is great news. We've been told that she has a place at this school in September, which is great but also slightly frustrating because it is a long time away, and during that period of time a lot of things can happen, and if she started anytime sooner it would mean that she would be less behind her peers. Obviously the school haven't got any places available until September, which is understandable. Obviously we can't get our child into the school and other children can't go because we're adamant that she needs to go. It needs to be, you know, fair for everyone, and that's fair enough. Hopefully that gives you a bit more information about the mediation process. I'm really, really sorry that I can't really go into much detail about what was said in the meeting. Unfortunately it is confidential, so I can't say too much about that, but I really do hope that this has helped you. I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about what we found frustrating, what we found good. There are a couple of points, and hopefully this will help you if you do have a child with special needs or on the autism spectrum, and you're looking to move schools. Hopefully this will help you and you don't get your choice of school. As I said before, the process is very long. Unfortunately it is that way, and a lot needs to be done about the way that children with autism are treated. Just the long processes is ridiculous. Everything takes so long. Obviously a diagnosis, it's important to get that right, but having to wait 6 to 8 months is a very, very long time to get that decision. And then of course trying to get your child to be moved to another school is also really frustrating, especially when you do already have an educational health plan and you just want to get your child to a school where they will do a lot better and the environment is a lot better for their needs. Another frustrating point for me was the fact that the communication all round is generally quite poor. I'm very much a person who is very open to communication. If you let me know, I'll be happy to discuss something with you, and vice versa. I get really, really frustrated when people don't keep the lines of communication open, and having that here was really, really frustrating for me. So having to constantly chase people just to know where things are at was very frustrating, and obviously I do understand that people have a job to do, but it's your child at the end of the day and you do want to know what is happening at every point. So one piece of advice that I give you, if you're going through this, email them every single day. Be pushy, regardless of how nice you are, push and you will get an answer. You need to push because you need to know where things are at. You need to know if they've received the educational health plan, you need to know if they've made a decision, you need to know if anything is happening with the plan, you need to know what is happening with mediation, what is happening with their decision of another school that you pick. You need to know, and I would say, yeah, just be pushy. The thing I would say about the actual mediation meeting is it's a very good way of airing your grievances and your frustrations around things. So for us, for example, one of the good things about the meeting was being able to tell the school that she's currently at how frustrating it is for us because she's not learning in the right way. And that was something that we found really helpful. It meant that things like new tasks or action points were set out for Isla, assessments were sorted for her, so that we could actually understand where she is at for her learning age, what she can and can't do, and how we could push her in the things that she could do and in the things that she can't do. And that for us was really, really good. That's it. That's a little bit more information around the mediation process and how you can deal with the mediation process after going to panel for moving schools with a special educational needs child. Hopefully that was helpful, and if you guys have any other questions, please pop them down below and then I will try and answer them as much as possible. I'll be filming more videos around Isla and our life in general and how we deal with everything. So hopefully this was okay and you enjoyed it. And if you did, please subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!